Hi everyone, how's it going? And hi, welcome to another episode of Lasers and Lace. And obviously we have Ivy here, believe it or not. It's just currently, she just got home, so we're letting her eat and everything. Atlanta obviously can see, she's like, it looks very barren there. But she's obviously representing. And then we have the lovely Brisc Rubal. And then, you know me, it's me, Mal the Ho. And yeah, so also, Brisc.
Super slutty hoe.
Listen. You people, okay?
What do you mean, you people?
You people.
Oh,
yeah.
You.
It's a unicorn wearing a mask. I love it.
Mine says Amsterdam on it.
Very nice.
Eve Amsterdam, nice. I don't have one of those. I have a London and a Vegas one, and I should have had a Toronto one, but yeah.
What
you guys
the hell, Brisc?
I know.
What the hell? Like,
I know.
I can't even start with the amount of hurt in my heart right now. Like, that was supposed to be our first time ever meeting.
I know.
In real life person, and you were all like, "No, I hate Eve. I'm not coming."
But it's fine. We met in Vegas. It was okay.
Also,
you saved me from Dirk in Vegas. Let's be real.
Yes, I did.
And Ivy, yes. So, that drawing was like one of the first ever fucking shows we did, and then it was Brisc was on here too. And then,
that's the original Boob Ivy.
It's the original Boob Ivy. That's what my girlfriend.
From the first time I was on. I think.
Yeah, that my girlfriend
just ask,
said.
Why does everybody stick figure draw me with ginormous knackers? Like,
because you have ginormous boobs.
Is that the only thing you guys notice about me?
No.
Like, is that all
I noticed the maple leaf. I noticed the Canadian
red
stuff.
hair.
That's what I noticed.
Red lips and big tits.
And as tall as me, which is freaky. So,
hey,
I like it.
But yeah, hi everybody.
The short ones down here, which is just.
Poor Delana, like we come to Vegas, and you see the flag first, and then you see Delana later.
Yeah, that's the only reason I have these. No, not really, but it helps. All these tall people.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend says, to be fair, Ivy, if she were to draw me, I would also have giant knockers. You're not wrong, babe.
See, and Hex, I notice your fantastic face. Aww.
But Diana, whenever you want to be like above everyone else, I will fucking put you on my shoulders if you want, and I will carry you around, and we would be like, to victory!
With her flag.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
With the flag.
People are asking, how tall are you, Brisc? If you don't mind me asking.
I am 6'4". So Eve has very tall players.
You're almost like a foot taller than me.
I know. Eve has very tall players, and I am by far not even the closest tallest dude.
is right. There is someone shorter than me.
That's Guard, right?
4'10".
Or is Guard taller than you?
She's very tall. No, Guard,
I think you guys are the same height, aren't you?
Guard was like a little bit shorter.
I need to translate that into civilized units.
No.
So yeah,
I am in civilized units. I am 186 centimeters tall.
I think I am. I think according to you guys' crazy metric system, I'm slightly less than 2 meters tall. I think, if that's how it works out.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got.
There you go. She's got the guard.
Again.
You didn't pack that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously, she didn't pack that because, like,
don't pack the important things.
Well, it didn't fit in the box yet, so I'm gonna. Dude, I put this in my bag to bring it to Vegas so that you could see it.
Those were such a pain in the butt to make, but they were so much fun to make at the same time.
What is it? Just like cardboard and then with like foam?
So,
No.
So it's literally, I printed out pictures on paper, cut them out in paper, and then traced them out on cardboard, cut them out in cardboard, and then I had to find some way of like sticking it. So I found these like bamboo garden stakes, so I sawed them off, and then I hot glue gunned the shit out of them onto the back of the cardboard.
Also, Hexavex, thank you so much for the fucking gifting of the 5 subs. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Channel again.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to blah.
This one box right here says Eve stuff on it.
There you go.
Is that like all the pins and everything?
That seems like a really small box just for your Eve stuff. I know how much Eve stuff you have.
You need a bigger box.
There's another bag over here that has like all of my swag things, and it's just everything's just crazy right now. But Because I think in the morning my dad comes up with a moving van, and then
Me.
there it goes. Yeah.
So yeah, obviously you're like, yo, why the fuck is Brisc on again? Ivy.
Every year you guys ask me on for at least one time.
Listen, you're actually a really good person to have on.
You're a talker.
Yeah, and
That is correct.
Delana's actually like talking too today. Like,
yeah,
it's a
we're
Christmas
getting
miracle.
her to talk more. We told her, we're like, Diana, you need to fucking talk more, or else like you're gonna be stick figured.
Oh no.
No.
Whatever will I do?
It's such a threat.
Ah.
Such a threat.
So Ivy had this great idea that she wanted to have. Well, Ivy, do you want to explain it, or should I?
So, we can tag team this.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, I wanted to do the whole series of CCPers on the show and the people behind the scenes, because there's so much hate of CCP sucks, but there's actual people behind the keyboards that you're constantly screaming at. So what better than to bring them out behind the screens and put a face to the name that you like to rage at, and see that they too are human beings with feelings, and they like the things that we do. Speaking of which, I got art team people who are going to come on in the spring/summer, and they said they have some dank surprises for me. So
is
I'm
it what I
excited
think
about
it
that.
is?
It might be. It might be.
Is it the thing that like we were
I
talking?
hope so.
Okay,
I
I
hope
fucking
so.
hope
I
so
hope so.
too.
But anyways, so that being said, then I was like, we have all these amazing talk shows that are out and about there too. Let's get on people from the other talk shows. So like in news and talking in stations, and like our founder here at New Eden Post, let's bring them on and let's talk too, because people know about these things. Let's just spread the wealth and share the love, because you know me, community.
As much
You
as
wanna-
we hate each other in game,
Exactly right.
community.
We love each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
And speaking, by the way, Ivy, I have no idea where your package is. It's in the ether.
Done.
It's in transit to next facility, so who knows?
So for Valentine's Day, me and my lovey decided to send each other packages, and both of our packages have been lost in whatever is the postal service. So my package got lost in Canada heading to the States, and his got lost coming from China or wherever he sent it from. So it's like, happy Valentine's Day, you guys. We sent pictures of what we were sending to each other, because we don't know if our packages are gonna come.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, at least like the package I sent along with yours to streamer 404 HD, because today is his birthday, so I made him a little
happy
shit
birthday.
thing. And
oh my god, I gotta
so
start.
it finally got to him today. It was delayed by like 3 days, probably because of all the cold snap mess last week.
Listen, our fucking snow has been crazy here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Y'all saw how bad it was here. It was just like, it got real cold, and then like Texas was running out of power, and
Texas is like, what is this white stuff?
It's shit from the heavens. Literally, the sky is
Yeah.
shitting on us.
Yeah. So speaking of birthdays, so yesterday was my daughter's 13th birthday, and I can't believe I have a teenager now, because I'm still 25.
Godspeed.
And handling.
God fucking speed.
And two, I'm one of those people that when it's your birthday, you do your checkup. So the poor thing's got to go to the dentist and the eye doctors and all that on her birthday, because it's your yearly reminder. So it's what I do. So we get to the eye doctors, and the eye doctor's doing their thing, and she goes, so we'll do your testing vision and everything too while you're here. And I'm like, whatever, sure. I have always had really, really good vision my entire life. And the eye doctor goes, have you noticed any changes in your eyes? And I'm like, well, my one eye kind of bugs me a little bit. It feels funky, but it's just, I put some eye drops in and away I go again. She goes, how do you feel about progressive lenses? Bifocals? She's like, we don't call them that anymore. They're progressive. I'm like, why do you think this wants bifocals? And she's like, no, progressive. I'm like, so I look through them normally, and then when I read, I look down. I said, but how am I supposed to game? I'm a gamer. Am I gonna be like this? And she goes, oh, okay, then no. you don't want bifocals. But what the fuck, people? I'm only 25 plus shipping and handling. I don't need progressive
That's a good one. I
glasses.
haven't heard that.
I hear you.
Eh.
I mean, look, I'll tell you, I've never been to the eye doctor, but my eyes are not what they were. And my hobby that I picked up during COVID has been building model ships and being able to look at the pieces and stuff. I realize now I need reading glasses to be able to see stuff. In addition to like this big giant like a magnifying glass that I use for the
So
really
yes,
small
I
stuff.
end
So-
up picking out readers.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
I'm never gonna wear them on the show, people. So if you see me squinting,
Guys, if we get a
No.
donation goal of like say $20, Ivy, you're gonna wear them for a show.
I've just
All
got to
right?
wear. I've just got to wear the readers.
20 bucks.
Yeah, 20
I like it.
bucks. 20 bucks. They can't say that you need glasses if you never go. I mean, Livia's
Right?
right.
There you go.
Technically,
Yeah, I
she's
haven't been
right.
to the eye doctor in years because I used to have completely garbage sight. Like I always had to be wearing either glasses or contacts because I couldn't see 3 inches from my nose. Like I'd
see,
go to the
they're freaking
I go
hex.
to
He's
the
like
eye
20
doctor.
bucks. Pfft, done.
I go to the eye doctor and they're like, take your glasses off and read the chart. And I was like,
I don't have my glasses yet though. Like I haven't gotten them yet. Like
So
they're
like,
ordered.
I actually had LASIK and I have never been back because I had so many eye tests done. I was like, that's enough for one lifetime. You're not telling me to go again.
And if they could fix my eyes so I could see my little model things without having to wear glasses, I would totally
See,
do
now,
that.
Laser.
now
I just don't know if that works for being old.
for being old, well, she's like,
Yeah.
well, you know.
For being 40, you hit that 40 mark and everything
Well,
starts
she
breaking.
hinted that I might be getting
It's
near
like a
that 40
rule.
mark, and for the record, I am not, people, but 25 plus shipping and handling. And she's like, well, you know, you're in a high stress job where you're constantly reading and your eyes are getting tired as you get older. And I'm like, you can stop right there. Stop right there. Don't even. Anyways, we've squirreled in like the worst way in the first 20 minutes of the show.
This happens every time.
Listen,
does. Well,
it's
it's
not
me.
lasers
Me.
and lace without it.
It's me. It's the 30-minute mark. No, it's not. I see 17 minutes and
Yeah,
33.
34.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, like
30
30
mark.
minutes.
like Ivy was saying,
Years.
you know, we wanted to bring on other members of the Streamer Eve community, despite they may be on different sides, depending on like your
And they might really
position,
hate our
stance
show,
on
and
the
I don't
war.
care. Come on in.
And, like, yeah, cool, come on in. We still like it's like no hate, y'all.
Who hates your show? Nobody
don't-
hates
I'm
your
serious.
show.
There was like
People
one
hate my
guy
show.
one
They don't hate
time
your
where he
show.
Came in to complain.
my
They
show.
were like,
Keyword,
why
they
would
don't
you-
hate our show yet.
Why would
There you
you
go.
like get in chat and
Joe Bain,
complain
you're here
about us
because of me.
talking? I was like, you can easily just not be watching if it bothers you.
And
Joe is here not because he's a hater, but because he's a secret fan
Oh.
of everyone.
Oh no, Joe. So
We know
whenever
Joe.
I stream individually, Joe Bain always pops into my streams, and I'm like, "Yo, Joe, what's up, dude?" He got fucking Denny's one time because my girlfriend and I were talking about Denny's on stream, of how I lost a bet, so I owe her Denny's, but whenever COVID. Yeah, shit like that. Anyways, so yeah, we
Right.
obviously we brought on Brisc, and we want to talk. That Denny's was good too. Good. We want to talk to Brisc about like his show, the Meta Show, all the other shows he is on. So all of that, and also, but Brisc, I know you probably talked about this on Trash Talk Tuesdays, but listen, Wormholer, by the way. I don't know what the fuck this shit is about the
Sorry.
whole TT. Oh, no,
explain the TTC
Listen,
thing. Like, what is going
Fix
on?
the mining and wormholes. That's all I ask. But no, like, yeah, explain
mining
this
everywhere.
whole. Explain this whole like TTC and snuff and everything. Obviously, like we briefly did chat about it a little bit earlier.
Grr, snuff.
But, like obviously,
I'm
snuff
still not
is
happy with them.
trolling. Oh, that's completely understandable. And so just like.
So I can walk you guys through. I mean,
Please,
it's not a
thank
huge,
you.
it's not a crazy thing. So all right. So for those who are unaware, in HiSec, control over the HiSec trading hubs, the player-run trading hubs, has been a thing since Citadels came out in 2016. They are a cash cow. They make a ton of money, especially the Plex trading, the skill injector trading. That's where the bulk of the money comes from. But the fact is, you can sell things without having the same level of broker fees and taxes that you would otherwise have to pay in JITA. So it becomes a lucrative market. Prior to this, you had a couple consortiums. There was I Choose You and some other folks that had been running this. each of the folks that ran one of these had a big brother, big top 3 null block support, because the way that these things work, if they are attacked or if they are threatened or if there's any disruption, it causes all kinds of problems. People start pulling their stuff out, they start moving it around, they don't make any money. So when the moon changes came through and a lot of the other changes to income came through, people started looking for new ways to make money. One of the ways was high sec markets. So what ended up happening was I Choose You got pushed out by Test, and the result was there was a Test and Horde fight, big fight between PanFam and Test over control of these high sec markets, and the result was the creation of the Tranquility Trading Consortium, which basically was, at the time it started out being the 2 big groups, Horde and Test. They're going to come together. They're going to protect this thing. They brought the Imperium in because we threatened to blow it up. And the entire point is, the way that the TTC works is, if you have a big enough group that you could theoretically disrupt the operations of it, you get paid off and you become a part of it. And that's how the thing has worked. So there's a 3-way agreement between PanFam, Legacy, and Imperium over the TTC. The money is sent out each month, whatever the profits are, gets split 3 ways. And the Imperium doles money out to their people. Legacy, Test keeps most of it and gives everybody else value. PanFam gets their cut, and that's the way that it works. Snuffed, when they set up their low sec stuff, Snuffed became the bad boys of low sec. They had been the bad boys of low sec, and they threatened to blow up the Keepstar in Ignoitin before. And the whole point was, if you have something that can fuck with what they have, you become part of it. So they got bought off. They were given 25 billion-isk a month to leave it alone. Mm-hmm. And then they came back and told Billy, assuming, after the Basgarin stuff, after these guys are filling their oats and they're thinking, all right, we're the bad boys, we're going to go push around these big guys that are involved in a big war.
A huge, defense to attack in Basgarin for our Keepstar. Like, slow clap.
It's what they do. Mm-hmm. It's what they do. These guys are the bad guys. They like to role play the bad guys. They want to be they are Snuff today is what goons were in 2011, 2010, 2012. They are the guys that are out there. They like to mess with people's stuff because they find it funny. So they started threatening.
Copy other people's ideas. Their new role play video.
Yeah, obviously. So anyway, what ended up happening was they decided that, after the Ignoitin thing, they extort Vili, they asked for 75 billion or Titans or Dreadholes or Aeons. It's what we talked about it on the Meta Show. It's, we've altered the deal, pray we don't alter it further kind of routine, trying to be Darth Vader to these guys. Vili basically said, fuck it, this thing isn't making us money anyway, blow it up if you want. So they went ahead and did it. Then, because it's funny, and they wanted to keep the meme going, they threatened the main TTC in Perimeter, different than LowSec, can't bring in their supers, they're not going to be able to blob, and we have all of our ghost accounts and secondary accounts and stuff that are designed to go up and protect the thing. So they they declare war against TTC, and then all of the big groups join the war as allies, and the result basically is that they are under attack at their war headquarters, which they didn't care about because it was low power anyway. So they just ended up getting blown up by a handful of people over a 2-day time frame. And it was really just designed to mess with the way the TTC functions. And it's funny because Vili has said this before, and I agree with him. The way that these high sec markets work, high sec players are skittish as hell. They don't understand how nullsec works. They don't really understand how PvP works most of the time. So as soon as they start hearing, oh my God, somebody's going to come blow this thing up, and they just blew up the one that was in low sec, so this is real, they start pulling their shit out, and it stops making money. Mm-hmm. So anytime, that's the thing. All you got to do is, it's why it's easier to pay people off than it is to defend the thing constantly. Because every time you have to defend it, the thing gets refed once, people get scared and start pulling their shit out, it doesn't make money anymore. So that's, to make a long story short, Snuff was memeing. They had a good time. They managed to put a small dent in the operations of the TTC for like a week. But the war's over. They can't declare another one for 2 weeks, and who knows if they're going to do it again. But that was the end result of what happened.
I just find
also it messed up everybody's overview settings.
Because that's the thing. Like there's a setting in your overview that basically, if you are war allies with a group, it pulls them off of your overview, so you don't see them anymore. So you're not blowing them up.
Yeah.
So everybody did that, and all of a sudden, like nobody can. Why is Tess not showing up on my overview? Why is Pan not showing up on my overview? Because we were all war allies because of this TTC thing. It's not going to. It should be gone tomorrow, but it caused a lot of frantic pinging from people to try to fix the stuff with the overviews.
Sending pings about how to fix the overviews.
Now, do you think Snuff realized that, and then also just added that to the meme?
I don't know if they added that to the meme, but I think they definitely know that.
Now.
It's the whole thing was a meme. They knew what they were doing.
Some extra memes on Reddit about it. It's like, oh, now the blue donut is finished because now everyone is glued to each other.
Right.
Even though it's temporary.
And that's I mean, but that's the joke, right? You know, there have been claims from the very beginning that this war was bullshit because these guys are all still friends in the TTC and they're making money and everything. And it's free money. Why would you not be part of it? You know, you're getting, this thing generates hundreds of billions of ISK a month. Why would you not take free money? Even if it helps the bad guys, it's helping you too. So why not take free money?
Why bite the hand that feeds? Like,
right. You know.
Also, for the other side to get more money so that they can buy ships that we can blow up.
Exactly. So in the long run, I think this is memeing stuff. We'll see if they keep it going or not. But it has been. We have seen more snuffed activity in terms of public eye stuff in the last 2 weeks than we have seen in a long time. I guess months since the stuff when you guys
I have to give them credit. I really do enjoy their videos that they put out.
Oh, it's top quality.
They're amazing. Like, they're really well done. I gotta give them kudos for that. I always have. I really want to know who does their videos, because that'd be kind of cool for the whole role play stuff that Six Empire does.
I want to add in on that, of how they got the news anchor. That's Fiverr. They literally just went on Fiverr.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
And just got that dude, and then so.
How do you think I got Morgan Freeman to do the voiceover for the Meta Show? It's all fine.
Exactly. So you just pay $5 or whatever, some shit like that. They do that, and then they take that feed and then they just do their shit. And so I think that's so fucking awesome that they do that. Snuff is the best
somebody
voice, and
pays
they
you
can't be
money to
defeated.
just say dumb shit, then I'd probably still say it,
You pay me $5 to do dumb shit for your news feeds. Come on.
I will do your voiceover work for $7.27.
For the low price of $9.99, I can talk like this.
See, I was gonna say this. I'm listen.
Ad.
I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. Oh wait, I am gay, so $20 is still $20. So come on, guys.
Anyways, back to why we're here, because we're squirreling again.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I know. Yeah, we're all just talking with Brisc,
So tell us about what show you do.
All right. Well, we'll do the official stuff. So I am one of the co-hosts on the Meta Show. The Meta Show is one of the longest running EVE Twitch streams. It started in 2015. It was originally the Matani and Nixie, and then over the years it moved to Matani and Lazarus Tellraven. Then it became Matani and Big Red Boat, and then 2 years ago, November of 2019, I took over as the co-anchor with the Matani. So it's him and me doing the Meta Show. We have a crack producing team that includes Life Shifter X, who is the head honcho over at Imperium News, and then Skeptic Nerd Guy also helps us out. Skeptic's pretty well known around the streaming community. Jay Amazingness, who's one of the lead FCs for the Imperium, is also one of our producers. And January Valentine, who used to be a producer at TIS, and you guys all know her pretty well, is one of our producers as well. So we put on what is the most watched EVE stream every week. We get on average between 1,300 and 1,500 viewers every Saturday afternoon. The numbers have gone up significantly since the war, but I think that's partly because of the war, but also because that made us kick our content into high gear and start doing some more fun things, and that got us to a wider audience, and now people tune in because they're used to it.
Now, Matani is the Regis of Eve streaming.
I mean, like,
yeah, he's from the beginning. He kind of started. I mean, before Imperium News was Imperium News, it was the Matani.com, and that was one of the sites that started a lot of the Eve Media stuff. I mean, the old granddaddy sites of Declarations of War and
Empire.
So
yeah, it's all that stuff back in the day.
So
multi-dollar media empire.
With the content that you guys do and everything, is it mainly just like almost like what we're doing, wherever it's like appear on like camera and then just talk about it, or do you actually do like in-game content that you're streaming as well, talking over it or something like that? Like, give us a little bit more.
So the Meta Show is a talk show. Honestly, it is done. We do it like a commentary news TV show. We try to run it like a TV show.
Yeah,
it's mostly commentary. It's mostly us talking about the stories of the day. But we have different segments. We have a top story segment that we do. We have a nullsec power hour segment. We have a segment called Piercing the Corporate Veil, which talks about CCP related stuff, whether it's business stuff or whether it's changes to the game.
Are you all doing this on the same time, or are you spacing out on different days? Because now that to me sounds like you're a very busy person.
It depends on the week, and it depends on the show. So we do a production meeting. Our production meetings are Thursday nights. So we had our production meeting about an hour before this show, and we planned out what we were going to do. We decide at that point whether we want guests, what we want the format of the show to be, what segments we have stuff planned for, what we don't have covered. In addition to we've added 2 segments since we rebooted the show. When I took over as co-host, we added a story time with Uncle Mittens show, and then we added a Fountain Frank War update, and we have that character Fountain Frank that we do that started because of the war, and that's become very popular, and people love when Frank comes on and does his stuff.
Is Fountain Frank going to come on tonight?
I'd have to put all the stuff on. I mean, we could do that if you want, but it's a character shtick. It started. It was funny because Jay Amazingness tends up coining all of the funny things that we end up doing on the show. He created Fountain Frank. I had put together the costume, and the first time we did it, I called it Baghdad Brisc because that was the joke. It was making fun of comical Ali or Baghdad Bob, whatever you wanted to call him, from the first Persian Gulf War, which is dating myself. A lot of people have no idea what the reference is because they weren't around back then. They don't remember all that stuff. But it's the guy like saying there's no tanks in Baghdad while the tanks are rolling behind him and you can hear him off camera. But that was the joke, and people were accusing us of spinning and not being honest about the way the war was going in the very beginning of the war. Mm-hmm. And then I created this character, and Jay dubbed him Fountain Frank because in it lived in Fountain, and we had this joke that we never lived in Fountain and that type of thing, and it just snowballed from there. And then I got a sidekick when the fighting moved to Quirius, and he was making jokes about Quirius George, so we got Quirius George doll, and that's the new that's Fountain Frank's sidekick, and it just become a thing. And we do funny videos. We've done a couple funny videos with him in it, and the segment has taken on a life of its own. So it's been part of the show.
That's actually like really awesome, that the fact that it all started with a meme, but yet here you are, like it's now becoming like.
And we also have Brisc's cousin Wilsk. Like, come on.
Well, that was one of my first characters that I did over in Open Comps. We can talk about that show when we're done talking about Meta Show. But what I have found in my career in politics, whether it's in-game politics or whether it's real life, it's that if you can take the worst personal attacks and turn them into jokes and lean into them, that is the best way to deal with it. And that's the thing. Like, I don't like it when folks accuse us of lying, because we don't lie. We spin, absolutely. We don't lie to people. We will shine up that turd as shiny as it can get, and we'll put it out there. We're never going to make anything up out of whole cloth. But when we get accused of that, I just turn it into a joke. So we have this character, that Fountain Frank, who lies everything he says is not true, and it's supposed to be funny, and we go that route, and it takes the sting out of a lot of these accusations. So that's what I've always found. If you turn it into a joke, you make it funny, you laugh alongside the folks that are yelling at you. It makes it very hard for them to keep throwing stuff because they get entertained and they like it. So that's what we do. That's That's the Meta Show, and we do it every Saturday, 2100 Eve, and it's on the Imperium News Network. INN is the most trusted name in Smug, as we like to call it. And then, in addition to that, I also am one of the lead breaking news anchors. So when we do the breaking news streams, I'm there doing that. And then I'm also on Open Comms, which is a show that I think everybody but Mal, you've never been on Open Comms, have you? We got you.
I have not.
Everybody else here has been on it.
We need to fix that.
No, we should grab you at some point.
I'm in danger.
Do we though? Do we need to fix it?
I don't know if you want to do it. It's not for everybody.
I'll gladly come on, but then I'm just literally gonna I'll sit here with my bowl and my chopsticks while y'all are just shitting, and I'm just like with popcorn. I'll just this is great. I got a front row seat.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, it's Open Comms is not for everybody.
Oh,
it can be very rough.
Putting me in Open Comms, I don't.
Very rough. Even for me, it's not for everybody.
Well, and you need to know how to roll with the punches, and if somebody's given you some smack talk,
I've been bullied for
to
majority
right
of my
back.
life, and I've worked in the service industry for 9 years. I think I could easily come back. I'd be like, listen, if you want my comeback, just scrape it off the back of your mom's teeth.
There you go. That's good.
It's
also a good exercise in learning how to ignore it when people
show up
are
for
talking
Trash
over
Talk
you.
Tuesdays. Redline, I have shown up for TTT.
I don't know if he's talking to you or me.
I mean,
I skipped the last 2 weeks, so.
Lasers and Lace is one of my favorite shows. Oh, thank you, Livia.
Yeah, when certain people start talking over you, and you have to get used to you gotta power through because I'm just instinctively, when somebody starts talking over me, I would, shut up because.
Dude, you do a show with me, and I am notorious for talking over people.
Yeah, that's why I've had
That's
to
the
learn,
quickest. You got to get used to that. You can't. You got to keep talking. You can't let
some
them
people
stop
would
you.
get worse over the time of the show.
Well, it depends on how much liquor we have in our systems, also, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Come to show trashed. You're good.
I mean, that would be interesting. It would. I'm not gonna flat out deny an invitation right now, Brisc. It's something I'll think about, because it would definitely be interesting, but I don't know.
Look, you can have my spot if you want. I'll skip. I'm fine with that.
No, I will print out a Brisc cutout, and I'll just be like,
just harass Brayden about it, and because he sets up all the stuff, so he just has to know how many people to set up for the windows, and then he's just like, okay.
Who do you want on TTT, Redline? Is it Mal or Brisc? I think it's Mal.
I've been on TTT though.
Have you?
Yeah, a couple times.
They don't want me on TTT anymore.
I only go on TTT once in a while, and I went on when that Snuff dude was on him, and then he wanted to go toe-to-toe with Pandora, and I ate him, so...
You had Mittens on, and then you got upset because he came on, and then he left.
Who had Mittens on?
I remember that time Mittens came on TTT. It was amazing!
It was great. He came in, he shit-talked Villy, and then he left.
How blasted was he? How blasted was he?
I don't. I mean, it sounded to me like he was having a good evening. But that's that's how we get sometimes. He's a party boy.
The offer again. We still want to do show hosts. If Mittens wants to come on our show, I'm saying it here live, people.
I will even get
look, guys.
Picture
when we originally did this, it was supposed to be me and Mittens on tonight, and that was the goal. The problem is just. With the war and everything, and not knowing when he's going to have to get pulled away from stuff like that.
We need to talk about fish.
It's just not. It's not something he does on the weeknights anymore. But he said after the war is over, then we can talk about it. So I fully expect we'll get him on here.
Mittens is too cool for us and stuff.
Mittens on Lasers and Lace would just. Mittens on Lasers and Lace would just get stoned and creepily hit on Delana.
Listen.
I'm okay with this.
I'm gay, so I don't care.
I've dealt with him every year at Vegas. Whatever.
But it's Mittens. We love Mittens, even when he creepily hits on us.
If he does come on the show, I will actually get a Fantasia Mickey Wizard hat image and put it on top of his fucking
do that.
I will do that for him. I'm like, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Cause Now
He's
that
this mythical creature in Eve that people hear of, and then we never like get to do interviews with. Like, come on.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, he's everywhere. Like you can see, I mean, of all of the major alliance leaders, he's on consistently. Everybody sees him on Saturday for the fireside in the Imperium. Everybody sees him an hour later on the Meta Show every week. There we go. See, Mittens and D.
Vegas
So
he's out
he's
there.
there.
He's on there.
Okay, so
where's my
I feel
phone?
like I'm missing something about this fish talk. The fuck are y'all talking about the fish talk?
Supposedly,
with
Mittens
Mittens?
really likes
So
fish now.
my boss is a fish enthusiast.
Okay.
That is the thing. So he has a fish tank, and he got into fish keeping, as he calls it, and we have a lot of fun teasing him about it. He does fish and model trains. I love model trains. I do ship models. That's my thing, and that's we've both done segments on the show showing off our
your ship
our stuff.
models. Is it like Navy ships or like spaceships or whatever? Like what?
It's mostly Navy stuff. I
Okay.
mean, the one that I did that I showed everybody on Meta Show was a Liberty ship from World War II that I finished.
That's dope.
And it's over here in my office. I'm working on an aircraft carrier now that is driving me fucking crazy. And it's just it's this 1/700, so it's kind of small, but it's got these little photo etched metal parts, and they're a giant pain in the ass, and they're making me hate my life. But the joke that I always have is because there's me and Ivy at
get like tweezers, dude. Like,
I have all of that. So,
like-
look, I have so much specialized shit for my models. My wife laughs at me, and I have this like little workshop set up, but it's in the basement under the stairs.
Oh,
she
so
teases
Nick
me
said
about
Brisc is sniffing glue under the stairs.
sniffing glue under the stairs. That's the joke. that's when my wife says, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm sniffing glue under the stairs." She knows I'm working in my workshop on the model.
Okay.
So it's the World War II Enterprise CV6 1943 era. So I'm trying to get that knocked out, and it's just been a pain.
And I know how that is. I started 3D printing the model of Perseverance, the rover that just landed on Mars. And the model, all of NASA's models are publicly available for free. It's just like a GitHub, and it's like all of their files. So it's like, okay, cool. This model is meant to be like 12 inches long. And I also printed Curiosity, which they had like a simplified version of. So that one was about just 4 inches. Like I just want one I could hold in my hand. So I shrank down Perseverance's model, but it's the same thing with a lot of little tiny pieces because it's meant to be assembled without using as much glue. So there's a lot of like little joints, and you put like a little cap on the end of the pin for the joint so that it still moves. And I'm like, the thing is like 3 or 4 millimeters.
And see, stuff like that would be better printed on a resin printer instead of like an FDM printer.
Yeah, body like I'm made of money.
I'm on camera,
Yeah,
baby.
But it's been fun because I don't know. I love my little robots.
They're
It's
so
just, like,
cute.
little tiny pieces, and I haven't even finished putting it together because I tried printing the wheels out, and the tread on the wheels was too small for the printer to print, so it came out just like as normal cylinders. So it's like, it's gonna need some treads. So I messed with it in 3ds Max. I'll print it when I get back home.
That's it. See, the only thing I have going for me is I don't have to print my own parts, but it's hi Ivy Jr.
Hi, Ivy Jr. Hi.
Hi.
So slow. Yeah, it's okay.
Very good. So for me, it's just like I got back into this. I loved doing it when I was a kid, and then I was thinking, I had all this extra time with COVID, because I'm not driving 2 hours a day, and I'm not, stuck on the train or whatever. So I had all this extra time because I'm not commuting. I was like, you know what, I should get back into my old hobby. And so I can't ever do anything like by half measures. So I started out like, I'm going to get a model kit, and then I need a workshop, and I need this, and I need a desk, and I need these lights, and I need this.
Go fucking ham.
Oh yeah. So
I have the same problem. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many 3D printers do you have, Ivy?
Currently,
Yes.
2.
X to doubt.
No, I do. I only have 2 at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I downsized.
At the moment.
Exactly.
At the moment.
Okay,
I mean, that's the thing.
so-
It's like, I want to start building a model. It's $30. Well, $5,000 later, I've got, I can put this thing together.
I want a Cricut, or I call it my Cricut, and it's a vinyl cutter, and it does card
They
stuff,
are
and
amazing.
all-
Crickets are absolutely amazing.
So I decided to justify buying a ton more shit for that by selling one of my printers. And so I sold one of my printers, and I bought more stuff, which then in turn turned into me buying even more stuff. So we're not gonna talk about that.
Now, how much
That's
did
what
you
happens.
spend, Ivy?
In total,
Yes.
probably about $800.
It's worth it. Now, have you made about $800 worth of stuff?
For myself, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, I just remembered. I got all these parts. I could fix my Raven. I got to fix the Raven that you made me.
You got the model glue stuff now.
I can
too.
do all of. I can paint it too.
Listen,
all kinds of
don't
stuff.
put it in your hair, okay?
I might.
Or
That might have to
don't put
be.
it on a solo cup over your mouth.
That might be my interim project: is fixing this Raven and then painting it like IGC
then-
or something cool.
And then prominently displaying it where everybody can see it, so that I can show off my masterpiece.
Yeah, put it like in
Exactly.
the back, right over the gun or something.
Well, I have a bunch of Eve models on my desk already over here. Like you guys, I'll so I can pull this up. I have ship models everywhere around my office. So you can see in the background here, you can see the one that's my USS Constitution, and then I have a wall hanging of the actual Constitution. It's kind of a joke. I got both of them there. Well, I got that one. Then over here, if you turn around here, you can see. I hope I don't blind you guys. You can see my lights,
Oh!
but you can see
That
all my
is
Star Trek
badass.
models over
That is
here
so badass.
at the top,
and
and
of
then
course you have the
and the Holy Grail.
yes, Holy Grail.
Eh.
Thank you.
And then on my wall over here, I've got more of
That's
the
so badass.
Star Trek stuff.
That is amazing.
And then
Wow, what a big nerd.
I know I'm a giant nerd, and then I don't know if I
Such a
can get
nerd.
so over here on the desk.
guys,
it's
OPSEC
hard to
stuff.
see.
OPSEC stuff.
I'd have to pull the I'd have to pull this thing out, but it's hard to see. But I've got a bunch of these Eve models too. I've got my Talos, a little Talos there.
Oh, Talos is so fun. Oh, Vlad is asking, do you have an Excelsior model?
I got one. Of course I do. Of course. I got two of them.
Ooh, pull the thing out. That's what
The one-
Hex said.
That's what she said.
The one is over here, and then I have over here on my you can see my TV stand. I've got an Excelsior right there, and then I got a little X-wing over there. So
I love that X-Wing.
in the corner of my office.
So-
But then I have another Excelsior over here, and the Reliant.
Nix is saying, would you have more if the circumstances allowed it? Now, Nix, is that comment directed towards Brisc or towards me?
You know, Ivy would have another dozen 3D printers if she could get away with it.
She would
Oh,
have
yeah.
a whole
You know you
house dedicated
So-
to 3D printing.
So, I don't know if my honey's watching or not, because he had surgery again today. But I may or may not have told him that when we buy our first house, it needs to have a heated garage so that I can have a workshop. That's mine.
So Ivy, here's the thing: with all the machines that you're gonna have and running, you're gonna heat the garage on its own.
No, but I have to have it temperature controlled, otherwise my filament will have issues.
But with the heat
Yeah.
that your machines produce, it will.
no,
They
I'm
don't
saying-
exude a lot of heat, just like from the one part. Really.
Yeah, but
You
with the resin
underestimate
printer,
the
this is-
amount she wants.
But with the resin printers and that too, then there's like the fans and there's a smell, so then you need to exhaust, which is now why you need to have
Yeah,
it
resin
properly
printers
ventilated and
stink.
stuff. My resin printer, I only have one, and it's not that bad to be honest. But I only have a baby one, which is still good. Initially Ivy, but now both. So, Brisc, if you had even,
We are
you-
going where no man has gone before.
Ivy needs a CNC machine now.
Isn't the resin in the resin printers toxic?
It can be. That's why they recommend that you wear gloves when you deal with it, and that you don't put it down household sinks and stuff. So you get like rinse buckets and stuff like that.
That would be bad. Don't do that.
And all that.
Well,
So I haven't messed with that yet because regular 3D printers, the plastic smells so nice. It smells like sugar.
So the resin printer, Delana, compared to my FDM printer, it's so much more user friendly. It's like you press a button and then the thing just moves and it does awesome things, and you're like, where have you been my entire life?
Yeah,
Hi,
nice.
Tank.
So I would have had my
Camera's annoying
workshop
me.
here, but no, now I'm moving back to my parents' house, and my 3D printer set up on the dining room table where I put my work computer. So
That's how you
Yeah.
assert dominance.
literally no other space. And my mom complains about it, but she knows that we barely have people over because we have a plague going on. So she tolerates it because
She doesn't have to enter. That's where my cricket originally was set up, was the kitchen table, and my mother was like, so when do I get my kitchen table back? And I'm like, when Christmas is over and I'm done with like glitter bombing the crap out of stuff and cutting stuff out of vinyl and stuff. Yeah.
glitter everywhere. Oh no.
Oh, glitter was
The
everywhere.
moment glitter
It was
gets in your
everywhere.
house, you're fucked. Like
The
just,
herpes.
That's why the best troll present you can give anybody
Is a
are
glitter bomb.
glitter bomb.
one of those glitter cards. Not even a bomb, just one of the cards with glitter in it.
Because the glitter
'Cause then
always comes
then
off.
they don't
so
think
you
you're being a
open it,
jerk to them,
And then you're just like, ugh.
but it's everywhere. So, not a fan, but I understand why people like it.
I will not send you a glitter card ever, Brisc.
Thank you. I appreciate. You can just send me all dressed chips,
How about
and
this?
I'll be happy.
can I send you all dressed chips and also a bag of edible dicks? They're
As
like
long
gummy
as-
bears, but they're penises.
That's fine, because it
But
won't be
don't
the
you have
first
to list
time
it on
anybody has said that to me.
custom
Because then I'm
thing?
like, Brisc, eat a bag of dicks. And they're just
Which
like,
is
don't mind if
pretty-
I do.
Pretty common.
So there
Oh.
was a guy, we did a Secret Santa Christmas exchange once for one of the Pokemon groups that I was in, and this guy was a complete and utter douchebag, always a dick. And so somehow I got paired with him. So for his Secret Santa gift, I sent him a nice present, and then a couple weeks later, I sent him a bag of dicks, and he didn't know who did it, right? And so he's got pictures of his 2-year-old being like, and I'm like, oh man, like that's not what I wanted at all. Seeing some poor kid, like it's a
Oh,
gummy.
no.
It's like a gummy bear, I guess.
No, to be really evil, just send them sugar-free gummy bears.
Oh no,
Those are
no,
gross.
no, that's evil. That will have you like.
You'll be
Brisc?
hugging that toilet.
Are you as mad at the new CCP cash grab as I am?
Oh, ooh. Mm.
I don't really care. I mean,
Can
that's
I get a TIL? Sorry.
so. All right.
Explain
So
like a five.
they announced today they're going to do this new thing called expert systems, and essentially what that's going to mean is new players will have access to something that's sort of like in a cerebral accelerator, but they're going to sell them out of the secure store on the website, and they'll basically give a new player 7 days of a certain type of skill set so that they can try something new that they couldn't try before. Like, you know, if they're I know CCP Fozzie said on Reddit today that they're going to do a thing where if you're a new player and you want to, there's this, I guess they're going to do a Grand Prix event or something. And he said they're going to sell a pack so that for 7 days during this Grand Prix thing, new players could try it out where they get to fly an interceptor. So it just basically it's going to give new players a chance to buy something
And
that lets them
after the
try a
7
skill
days,
out.
it goes away, correct?
And then it goes away, and during the time you can train the stuff up. The whole idea is that in the beginning
To
of the,
incentivize them into skill injecting into something and spending more real life money.
I mean, it could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it could do that, or it could just give you the chance to try. I mean, honestly, the way that it was pitched to us and the way that it was exactly the way it was explained in the dev blog was that one of the things that they have found with new players is they get bogged down and they get scared about making decisions and doing things bad. And if I decide
That
to
was
choose,
Brisc.
that's my my bosun whistle text message alert. I got work stuff coming in.
I love it.
But basically, what the whole idea was that it would give these guys a chance to try something before they have to make the decision to train into it or not, and give them the chance to taste it. And if they don't like it, then they don't have to spend any skill points on it. They can just say, I tried that, I don't like it, I'm not going to do that. And that way, if they do try something out and they wait a week or they wait 2 weeks and they train the skill up and then they go try it and it sucks, there's this feeling like, oh, I just wasted my time. I've gimped my character. I screwed this up. And that creates negative incentives and people, you know.
So
they
like
don't want
Redline said it, buy it before you buy it, which is, yeah, it's understandable. So like I could
I mean, you
understand.
could. I mean, theoretically, it could be buy it before you buy it, or it could just be try it before you buy it.
So
But
like,
the whole idea is that they're going to, at least as I understand, they're going to price these cheap enough that it's not going to be in anybody's interest to buy more than one, but it's going to be cheaper than skill injecting the stuff too. So we don't have prices yet. We're probably not going to get those for another couple of weeks.
I'm happy that they're gonna be actually restricting it to only new players, but then once again, all the people that are like veterans of Eve are playing for at least.
To stop them from skill injecting temporarily into something for a fight.
Now wait, the people that they're gonna do that, are they gonna be able to? Are they gonna block it so that people they try it before you buy it and then they skill extract?
No, they can't. They're not going to be able. They're not going to be able to extract the skills. The way that it's going to work is, it's not skill point based. It's just the skills. As I understand it, they're going to just, when you plug this thing in, the system will say you have X skills, so you qualify to fly this.
Okay.
Not skill points at all. That way, you can still train the same skill that you just bought if you want to, without having any issues. So. I mean, that's the thing, and it's 7 days later. They're not. Yeah, they may have bought the ship and then they can't fly it, but then they could keep it or sell it or do whatever they want with it if they decide that they like it.
So Mongoli says, but then you have a new player that is going to own an interceptor, and then 7 days later they won't be able to fly the ship. Yes, so that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't. This is not going to be. I don't think this is going to be used for ganking or any of that stuff like that, because in the end, unless you are constantly churning and creating new characters to gank with, I mean, theoretically,
I think they should make it so. Obviously, they make it so that you could do this if, obviously, Alpha, but then Omega people are as well. But then it's just people are just constantly going to be making new accounts, and then like Livia said, this is going to be a new Flash form a gank tactic.
But like ganking already has such a low ceiling. As what Armand says, like ganking usually you have like pretty basic cheap ships anyway, because if you know you're going to get converted, you might as well get a good kill before you get blown up. So you never have like expensive ships for that anyway. So
as I understand it, the way it was expressed, the claim to us was that this was something that would not be attractive for new players. It would be attractive for new players. It would not be attractive for veteran players creating alts for whatever purpose. And it would not be, it's basically a way to help take away the fear of selection, making a choice early in the game, because they find that the more choices, the more they found things like, just picking your character race. People were freezing up at whether or not they wanted to pick which if I pick Caldari, is that going to screw me over forever? And that was causing people, tension in the beginning of the game.
And so they did remove that, correct?
As I understand it, that's going to be taken out, or at least some of the racial choices. You can still pick your empire, but I think some of the racial choices are going to be taken away.
So, like, I could really understand of how CCP is trying to adapt to the new player aspect of it and everything. But then you got to think about it. Like, yes, we want to bring more people, but once again, this game is a business for them also. So they want to keep making money. So in a way, they got to keep doing this to keep making money. But it's a lot easier to keep hold of a current client.
But at the same time, how does this new system, like, it helps new players, but at the same time, to me, it slightly feels like we're screwing the people who've been here for forever. Like, what incentives are for us? Like, there's none.
Well, that's the thing. I think that is a larger development question that we can debate. And I think it's pretty clear from what I've seen, at least whether it's on the CSM or just as a media personality observing what the company's been doing, they are obsessed with new players, getting new players in, getting new players to last not just past the first 5 minutes, but into the first month.
And that's where I'm adamant that communication of some sort needs to come on. I've been saying this. I don't know how they make it work, but it's proven. Get people on comms, get them talking to other human beings,
right? And
people stay because they have
like
somebody.
There's a lot of things that they found that if it happens early on helps. One, joining corporation. Two, talking to other people, getting in comms and getting in talking to real life people who help you with the game. Three, this is a business thing, but a customer that has some skin in the game is more likely to stick around than someone that doesn't. Mm-hmm. And all of these free-to-play games, one of the big metrics that they always have is how long does it take for the first person to play the game to make their first purchase. And this is a way to get them to that first purchase, and a really easy thing that also provides them with a way to get around and Redline's calling them roadblocks. It's not roadblocks. It's the way the game is.
I want to
It's
say
just this is a game where you're training skills, and that takes time, and people always are going to want to speed that up somehow, and they're always going to want to make sure they don't make a mistake. So
Nick says, I know people give CCP way more shit than they deserve, and I love them for making the game that I love to play, but they do release that stuff at really inappropriate moments. People have been waiting for meaningful changes or fixes to a lot of different aspects of the game, and then they release stuff like that.
And then what I said is, the CCP can do more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Well, I mean, that's to be clear, the teams that are working on stuff like the new player experience and the marketing and the publishing side of this stuff have nothing to do with the teams that are working on balance changes or new content or live events or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's
so
like what I said, they're like, oh yeah, people complain of like, oh, CCP is just making all these new skins instead of fixing stuff. And they're like, yeah, because the art department is going to be fixing the bugs.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just like in the past, whenever we brought on Aurora, Burger, and Convict, a lot of people were like, fix this shit! They were all spurging and everything, but it's just
that's
like, once
again,
yes, that is the standard thing. But once again, they're the community team. What part of community do you not understand? Community is not going to go and do something like the film industry. There's a saying, not my department. Literally, you go up, ask someone like, what about this? And they say, not my department. That means like, fuck off. Like, don't bother me about shit I don't need to be bothered about. So,
hello, Other Ivy Jr.
Hello, Other Ivy. And then so obviously, yes, it's people like
she says, hello, human.
Human. So it's just like, obviously,
my kid just stole my treats.
People are not. It sounds like a you problem. Obviously, people aren't. They're just CCP, and then they just get like blind rage, and then
that's why we're doing CCP, the people behind the screen.
Yes. So Contempo says, how to increase new player retention, actually punish the gankers like Code. Yes and no.
That's a loaded answer. Yes and no there, though.
Because, like, I will admit, at one point when I was a little newbie, to Eve and everything, I was like, I did get bullied around by Code, and I'm just like, fuck you guys and everything, blah, blah, blah.
You gave the salt.
Oh, yeah, I gave them salt, and now I'm just like,
sup?
Fuck this shit.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I started playing, let me check, actually. I have started playing since 2014, November 2014, and then
thank you, Brisc.
I mean, you're welcome. I just don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. The Code guys, my experience, they tend to go after the big kills, and I don't know how many newbies are going to be flying stuff.
Well, exactly. Like they'll normally go for orcas because we'll look at orca holes. They're 1.1 bill right now.
Right.
Yeah, so obviously they're gonna go for that shit. So Code could potentially do like almost like Wall Street Bets is kind of doing, like, fuck you, we're gonna purposely do this, bring the stock up or whatever, or like bring the price of these holes up that they may have invested. They could be doing that. So so like Ivy said, that's a loaded question. It's like yes and no. Yes, Code is a part of the game. They're role players as much as they fucking deny it. And so it's just
like Snuff now. They're role players now too, don't you know?
Don't you know?
And there's like times where like I like to watch like Zanus Disco, whatever. Like I like to watch his streams. I met him at Toronto. That's how I got into his streams. He gave me his little card, and usually I just kind of have him running in the background when I'm doing other stuff. But I'll still like to watch. And I mean, he'll gank some good stuff. Usually if he notices that someone's doing something wrong, he'll like convo them and like give them advice. And or I've even personally had like a new character that was going through wormholes because I was trying to take a shortcut, and then somebody blew me up and then gave me money and was trying to give me advice.
Here's the thing. Lately, since possibly is like we have a new home and everything, obviously
you're recruiting.
Yeah, possibly do be recruiting. Hit me up in Pause Party Time in-game channel, or just look up my name in game and then carry on from there. Anyway, so like for example, whenever we see new bros, I know people in my corp will actually like we'll go and hunt them down, we'll kill them, we'll fucking pod them, take the corpse and everything. But then we'll actually, some of us will send them like double the amount of what their ship is worth, and then we'll try and convo them, and we'll be like, hey, listen, like, just so you know, like, you gotta, if you're an alpha player that you don't have a cloak, you gotta keep bouncing around and everything. Or, you know, like, oh, you were just sitting there. So it just, like, a lot of people think wormholes are scary and everything, like,
What, I was living in my
yeah, they are,
wormhole?
but like we're not all like, we want more people to come to wormholes and everything, because like it's actually fun, and it's a great different mechanic. And I will admit, I am like, it's sad to see everyone that joins the game like, I'm gonna go join a big no block and I'm gonna hit F1 and I'm gonna go do this, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
oh,
I
I'm
got
not saying
pulled
there's
into
nothing
that.
wrll with that, but then it's just like they're.
Brisk.
I like to hit F1 and watch the llama
I have
explode.
tried.
That's what I like.
I
to
have
do.
hit
I'm
I have played
thinking on
every
you,
type
Chris.
of space except nullsec. And Nyx, fucking contact me, Alicon and Game, and we'll talk. But no, it's, if wormholers want more people in wormholes, then they should stop listen, talk to the big. I'm not gonna finish that comment because I know I'm gonna be blown up by some very butthurt spurgy people. Cal, I am being good. So it's just like, listen, believe it or not, there is a blue donut in wormhole space, like there is a fucking blue donut in nullsec. So like, that's every aspect. And obviously you're gonna come across those type of players in every different parts of space. Like, you'll see that the kids in the sandbox in in high sec, low sec, nullsec, and in wormhole space actually. And it's just, some people think that delete every class of wormhole space except C5. Keep C5 and C6 because, like, oh, look at us.
But I live in a C3. I like my little C3.
Yo, C3s are dope. I'm in a C4. I love my C4 and everything. Some of us still have fun despite the donut. And yes, that's exactly true.
And Vlad is sad he didn't get on Brisk's Titan in M2.
Sounds like a personal
I'm
problem.
sure a lot of people did, although a lot of people did get on my Titan in it too. Here's the deal. All right. When we're talking about new players, and I think we have to separate, because people talk about new players all the time, but there's a difference in new players. There is the first 30-day new player, which is what I think this feature is targeted at. There is the 1 month to 6 month new player, which are the guys that are getting hit by code, the ones that were getting war decks and stuff like that. They've figured out enough of the game to get around, but they're trying to make their way in it, and they're trying to get past. They've done all the tutorial stuff. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. Those, I think, are the people that are most susceptible to the issues of getting burnt out and wanting to quit. And I don't think we spend enough time talking about the 30-day to 6 month people. Then you've got like the 6 month people to a year, where they know enough stuff and they've been around enough, and they're still new players because they haven't been around that often, but they're not new bros like the ones you want to pet and coddle because they've been around, they understand Eve. So I think this feature is supposed to be first 30 days, give players a chance to try something that they may not otherwise have tried. It's not like they're going to be, buying one of these expert systems and then jumping into a battleship and rushing off and dying and losing all that is. They're not going to do that. I think it's really going to be for, maybe getting into that next level up frigate, and maybe getting into that maybe getting into a destroyer, something like that, where theoretically, they want to try exploration. They don't want to do it in a Heron. They want to do it in something a little bit nicer. So they fit out that ship. They go do it. They say, hey, this is for me. And at the same time, then they say, oh, I'm going to skill inject this, or I'm going to train this up. And I know that this is something that I like doing. And the price point should be low enough where hopefully we'll see the prices. I've been trying to do the math, and it seems to me that these guys are going to have to be relatively cheap, because if they're more expensive than an alpha skill injector, why wouldn't you just do that? So I think they're going to have to be relatively cheap, and then that way it's just an easy way to get the guy to the first sale, and hopefully if they got a little skin in the game, they'll stick around longer, and they'll push past the frustration points, of which early stage Eve has a lot of. So I don't particularly. This is never going to be a thing that I give a shit about. I'm never going to use it. You know, I'm never going to use it. My kids are probably never going to use it. It's just not something we're going to use. So I'm not going to get all bent out of shape about it. But I know some people are mad and they see it as some kind of pay to win type thing. But that's when anytime CCP comes up with new monetization that isn't gold ammo, I'm happy because they haven't gotten to that point where they're crossing the line.
I just
and then I got to pull a pitchfork out.
I'm so proud of you, baby. She just said I'm a new player and all I do is mine. I'm like, yes. But no, what you were saying though, Brisc, like I do agree with you. This was obviously aimed at new players and everything, and it's a great idea because it's a really great, but it always just takes a couple bad apples just to ruin everything. So obviously, like we were talking about before, people are
they got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, people are gonna fucking abuse this shit. I
know. I still don't see like. There's enough you could do with new characters. God knows I deal with it all the time because Horde gets AWOXers a lot. But it's like, would they really put money into that? Like, I don't know.
I want to shoot you with my Horde ult.
No, don't do that.
You're gonna blue on blue her, Brisc? That's like a
there you go.
No.
AWOX. It'll be fun.
And Mongolia actually is true. New bros get really pissed when they lose a 2 million venture. I mean, they're gonna get really pissed when they lose 10.
Okay.
But that's the first lesson they gotta start
learning.
Here's my story. I think I've told the story before, but I went from living in high sec to immediately living in a wormhole in the span of like 2 weeks.
Oh damn.
So in the first 2 weeks of living in high sec, I was a filthy miner. I hate mining. Mining to me is boring. I can't even mine and Netflix at the same time because I hate it. So I wanted to do exploration because I really like relic sites. Not data, relic sites. They are my favorite. I love relic sites. Like, I don't know why. I just, mwah. Anyways, so I decided, because Ivy's blingy as fuck, that I didn't want the regular cheap exploration ships. I wanted a Sisters of Eve. I wanted an Astero. So I mined my little heart out until I had enough ISK to buy my ship and fit it properly. So I flew to Amar, grabbed my ship, set it all up, jumped out, undocked, launched my probes, found a wormhole in the very next system over, and I'm like, great. Entered the wormhole and got blown up. I remember sitting there looking at my screen in shock of, I've owned this ship for all of 5 minutes. This ship took me 2 weeks to get.
Oh no.
And me being me, I convoed the person and they accepted. And I said, this is my TeamSpeak information. I want to talk to you.
Oh.
And they logged into my TeamSpeak. And I went up one side of him. I was the salty player. I went up one side of this guy, down the other, and then he goes, do you want to come live in my wormhole and I'll share the loot with you? And I'm like, okay. So poof, Ivy into a wormhole.
I have a similar story, but it wasn't getting into a wormhole, but it was just like my girlfriend of how she started playing. I was heavy into mining. I still love mining. I still have like a Rourke and a C4 that's trapped there. Can't get out. Anyways though, like I love mining so much. My first big ship that when I started playing, my favorite ship is the Orca, and I aim for an Orca. I'm like, oh my god, it's so badass. I love it. It's amazing. But I got a proc first. And then I'm like, oh, they have good ore in low sec, and I didn't really know much about low sec or null sec and everything. So I go out there, start mining, I get ganked. And then I was so salty. I was so fucking salty. I'm like, fuck you, you stupid piece of shit, you fucking cunt. Said that in local. Next day, I get a warning from the GM, but like, listen, watch what you're fucking saying. I'm like, oh.
You got reported.
Oh, it would have been funny if they actually said, watch what you're fucking saying. That would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been amazing. And now I'm just like, and here's the thing. I will admit, ever since I've started playing Eve back in 2014, I have, Cal, the mouth on you. I learned from you, Cal.
I have a foolproof way of never being invited back to the show.
Do you? What's that?
Fuck mining. I hate mining.
No,
mining is awful.
I'll allow you back on the show.
That doesn't affect me, but that's just me.
So
it's the least.
I will admit, ever since playing in 20, 2014, I will admit I got so attached to the game. I'm like, I was spurging. I'm like, fuck you guys, whatever. I will admit it still happens every now and then, but it's just
Every now and then?
you know what? Where's that fucking stick figure thing of Ivy?
And you know, like, I think everybody has like a similar story. Like, I'm looking. This is funny. Like, the very first time I got blown up, I was maybe like 3 days into the game. Like, this was the kill mail. It was a little venture. I guess I was mining. Like, completely.
Yes, I was mining.
It's got like a civilian gun on it. Has no rigs. Like, I am like tiny baby. And I was in low sec. Like, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get the good stuff, go out into low sec. And this guy kills me. And I was really salty about it. I was complaining in the New Bro chat, and they had to tell me to like calm down, because I was like, oh, this game is so hard, they'll just kill you all the time. And they're like, okay, you gotta chill out. And so then I, eventually get over that. So this is my very first character. I'm glad I didn't stick with that as like my main character, because then I made Delana secondly after this one. And
What?
And then 4 years later, I see the same guy, because I always remembered his name. He's now at NC Dot, and I see him in comms, because we were doing like a group op, and I'm like, hey, Ashton Sugar, you killed me 4 years ago. You were the first person to kill me. And he's like, that sounds like something I would do. I'm glad you kept playing.
I remember one of the only times I remember a kill from when I was starting, and this was a long time ago. There is a well-known, or at least I think he's well-known. I think he's well-known. Pod killer in high sec named Arg. He's in code and he kills pods. And I remember flying my pod around, and he blew it up. And I guess I had implants or something in there. And he sends like this form letter of like, please, tell me about your podding experience. Was it fun? And all this other kind of stuff. And I still remembered that. And I see him every once in a while where I'm flying around, and I just have to laugh, because it's like I still remember that guy because he's funny.
Was it Wingspan?
No,
I think he was in code back then. I don't think he was Wingspan.
Oh,
I think he's a
okay.
code guy.
my very first kill was actually the CEO of my court, who accrued me at the time, and he thought it was cute that I wanted to shoot him and kill him. So he accepted my dual invite in high sec, and then he went AFK because he figured I wouldn't actually kill him in the ship I did.
What were you in?
I can't even remember, but all I know is an hour and a half later, I succeeded. And then I potted him. And he's like, but what if I had implants in them? I'm like, I didn't care.
So
I didn't care.
And I know Livia and a couple others did say this a little bit earlier, but like the first thing when playing Eve, you need to learn, the moment you fucking undock something, it's gonna die. You're gonna lose it. You don't know when. It could be 5 minutes from now, could be 5 months from now, could be a year from now, could be whatever. And that's the number one thing you have to understand. Because, like, once again, this is just a video game. And, like, yeah, we all love internet, spaceship, spreadsheet, simulator, and all that. I ganked a player from Wingspan, sent them a receipt for the antimatter delivery.
I love those.
That is amazing.
There you go. That's what you do.
That is amazing. Listen, fly logic, because then it's 100%.
But that's the nature of the beast. So
everything in Eve dies, otherwise the game stops. That is absolutely true, and it's just what keeps the community and the game going. What does Dead May Never Die? True.
Yeah, 'cause otherwise you're just playing like market PvP.
Hey, thank you very much for the raid talking in stations.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
welcome, guys.
Welcome to the party.
We're just shooting the shit.
Very appropriate.
Walking down memory lane.
It always turns into like a very casual memory lane type conversation, Brisc, when you're on this show.
Listen, because like
never managed to.
Because I've been around so long.
Brisc is like Grandpa
like,
Brisc, where you just want to sit back and like Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Let's go talk about all the old stuff in this game here.
Pretty much relevant to like everybody has the new member stories, and it's like I don't know, it just shows like you don't always have to treat them very daintily, like protect the little newbies. Like sometimes you gotta blow them up and then you can teach them something.
Jaded makes a good comment. That is what I love about this game. Played since the beta and loved it. It is intrinsic. There is no dying and keeping your shit.
Exactly.
Well, I found the guy's thing for this was when I had this was 2014. That's way back. So it wasn't when I first started. I mean, I'll be honest.
And you
when I started playing this
the
game,
Eve mail. You kept
I did. I still have it. Yeah. When I started playing Eve, I started playing in 2006. It was right at the height of the Bob stuff. I was so scared of this game because it had such a reputation of, all right, this is the game that all the PKers play. This is the hardcore PvP game. And I was coming from Star Wars Galaxies, which we were hardcore PvPers in that game too. But I was so scared. I don't think I undocked from the station for the first 6 months I played Eve because I was so scared that as soon as I undocked, I was instantly going to die.
Remember when you got mails from Concord for kills?
That was how that's why we call them kill mails.
Yeah,
because they used to be mail. That's how far. I mean, that was the thing. So, and I played it off and on, but I didn't have a group to play with until I tried to get into a corp. Didn't last very long. I was a one-man show for like a decade playing this
How
game.
did you not get along in a corp?
It just didn't. It was like pre-comms, so we were just talking in chat and stuff, and it just wasn't a thing. I didn't like it, and I had other friends that I was playing other games with, and they weren't into Eve, so this was a game that I really only was playing by myself. It wasn't until I guess it was 2016. One of my buddies in politics here in Virginia is a big Eve player, or was at the time. He's a big Echoes player now. But he said, hey, you should come hang out and come play with us. And I was like, where do you guys fly? He's like, we're in Nullsec. I'm like, oh, that's big time. I'm scared of that. I don't want to do that.
And look at you now.
You've been playing for 10 years and you never flew in. Every time I try to go that way, I get killed. So he said, fine. I said, all right, whatever. So I sold all my stuff and I got into this Osprey Navy issue and I started heading up. They were in Tenal and I headed up to Tenal and I got killed in MTECO in tribute by a PL Adversity gate camp.
Oh,
and then
no.
taught me how to set my death clone so that I could set my home station once a year. So I set it up to where they were, and that's how I got there. And then the rest is history. I've been playing in Nullsec ever since. So.
And I never left.
Mongoli says, I got a kill rate activated on me today from a guy I killed in Highsec 28 days ago. I messaged him and told him to come to Delve and let him pod me if it made him feel better.
There you go.
So here's the thing, obviously, and podding, this is going to get me on a little tangent. So when in Nullsec, obviously, you don't fucking pod because then you're giving them a fast way trip back to their home.
It depends on where if they're coming into 1DQ from T5Z, I'm going to pod them because it's just next door anyway, so who cares?
If they're coming into my home, I'm a pod them.
No, but here's the thing.
It depends. There are times when you don't want to pod them. Like if it's heavy tie-dye, don't pod them.
Well, yeah, that as well. But also,
so
like for example, in Nullsec, so like say your 5 jumps out of their staging and then you're in a small kitchen sink from like a wormhole or whatever, don't fucking pod them. Let them slow boat back and everything.
Oh, you see, I agree. Pod them all.
But then whereas when you're in a wormhole, if you pod them and
then they're out.
Exactly, they're chained.
That's what you want to do.
Exactly. So, like, it all depends. Like, sometimes the wormhole Bushido, it's like whenever, say, you roll into a group and it's like, hey, listen, we don't have numbers now, but we'll have numbers in, like, 3 hours or whatever. And then, like, we'll just kind of be like, listen.
We'll rage roll our hole. We'll come back. Don't worry.
No.
I have the benefit. I never have to worry about not getting potted because everybody wants my corpse. So I get potted regardless.
Whoa, Stuart Jack, pod them unless you're in a battle, you D-bag. Listen.
Oh, they pod me anyway.
Suck my dick.
Because also they want
that
nice Brisc Rubal corpse.
Oh,
everybody wants my corpse. It's to the point that everybody wants. Like I've been sitting on this 1DQ gay camp, and I've got Brisc and an Atron, and I bring out one of my alts. That's Brisc Rubal with 2 L's, and he's in a little Griffin, and all he does is remote SIBO my ass, so I have better skin rays. And they've killed him like 5 times because it's still a Brisc Rubal corpse, and they want it. Every single this gate is littered with wrecks, except mine, because they want all the stuff.
Mongoli said, I found mine's corpse today at the T5Z gate and contracted it back to him.
Some people will do that. Some people have tried to sell me my own corpse back like I care. I'm like, no, you got the amount that you're trying to get from me, you can get twice as much if you put that on a hyper.
Oh, mine
Vlad, Mal and I see where your favoritism is because Vlad only wants a Brisc and Delana corpse.
I mean,
everybody has Delana corpses.
Yeah, thanks, Brisc.
Come on.
Come to Wormholes and now that, believe it or not, I'm now starting to FC and everything. I'm practicing FCing and everything. So like,
Brisc Rubal stealing all the kills.
yeah,
Yeah, right. I try. Look, it's funny. Merkel Chen gets more than I do. He's worse at it than I am.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, it's just corpses, this game, it's fun, the community, all the pew pew and all that jazz. I need more mouth corpses. Cal, talk to Veritas, he potted me earlier. Just so I can get to fucking Jita. But yeah, know what, it's 20 after 9. I say we start wrapping up a little bit.
Slowly.
That's fine.
That's
No.
no. Brisc, do you have anything final to say or anything about like your other shows or about the war, like shit like that?
All I'd say is thanks for guys for having me. You know, if you haven't watched the Meta Show, check it out. Saturday afternoons, 2100 Eve. Open comms is every Friday night, and I can't remember what time it is. I think it's like 0200, whatever 9 p.m. Eastern time is.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow night. That's the other show that I'm on. That's kind of the drunken belligerent show, and then Saturday is the professional political show. But you know, it's just fun. I like being part of the Eve streaming community. Streamfleet's great. You guys are great. I get to meet a ton of people, and these are folks that care a lot about the game, and they want to provide entertainment, and show it off, and I like being a part of that.
Today we
and,
actually
hopefully
talked
that
Eve,
we're adding
like,
content.
We didn't just like talk about
Right,
other
we did.
stuff.
I mean,
We
there's
actually
some,
did
side
stuff that
stories.
was relevant to what's going on right now in Eve.
I mean, we
like,
always end up scrolling
Right.
a little bit. Like, that's just how the show is.
that's how we are, yeah.
Ivy, we got
That's
called
the nature
young
of the beast.
ladies.
But I mean, here's the thing. For me,
What?
We got called young
who?
ladies.
We have young
Thank
ladies.
you.
Young ladies. There you
Well,
go.
now Brisc,
Young ladies and the
Brisc
old
is a
guy.
young lady.
Pepperidge Farm. I'm calling
Right.
you Pepperidge Farm
No.
Brisc.
Well, I'm not that old, but I'm not young.
You're 25. You're
But
25.
my whole thing
plus
is
shipping and
I'm not on
handling.
FC or anything, so I want to create some content. This is how I do it. So that's what I do.
I'm just learning to FC, and like so far it's just running PvE fleets to get my feet wet and everything, stuff like that.
I have
but yeah.
FC'd once. I might. See, my birthday's next week. I might have to figure out something to do. for
Diana,
that.
are you getting litty? Wait, what day?
Probably.
What day?
What else am I gonna do?
What day is your birthday?
Well, it's Saturday, but I mean,
Should we
It's my
have
birthday
an
month, why should it
LNL
become
fucking
fun?
Happy
like,
birthday.
Should we have a
Alana.
birthday stream for Diana of like a fleet?
whew. Yeah, my birthdays are gonna start getting to the point where it's 30 plus X. I don't know.
No, it's
Yeah.
25 plus shipping and handling, guys. Listen to me here.
Oh yeah, that right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, Diana, do you want to do it? Like, we'll fucking talk and we'll do it. We'll fucking do it.
NPSI fleet?
Yeah, we'll do an MPSI fleet and everything.
Yeah,
We'll
really.
stream it, no delay,
We'll
just have
We'll
fun.
see, because I mean, obviously, like there's not a whole lot to do. It's not like I'd go have a crazy party. Like I think we're gonna go to a restaurant,
Ooh.
you know, nice, socially distanced restaurant, and still wear your mask when you go in, and blah blah blah. But we're going to a place that has chocolate martinis, so I am going to be turned.
Yes.
Because those are my favorite. I have the biggest sweet tooth, so whenever something's like super sweet or chocolate, I'm like, I'm gonna drink all of these and get
Girl, you're gonna love Canada.
Yep.
Canada 3 times.
True. Guys, who are we gonna go raid?
Oh, I don't
Who
know.
are we gonna go raid?
Go raid. Do me a favor and raid my boy Rampage Inc.
Oh yeah, I was about to see like I
Alright,
see
okay.
him on my
Alright,
list.
red line.
No way, because I
do
got to
that
go on
shit.
there as soon as I'm done with you guys. Because my
Alright.
wife's yelling at me. The guys want you on the other show now.
Oh,
You're-
well,
you
once
were gonna
again,
ditch us?
Brisc.
How dare you?
No, I was waiting for the
Risk.
show to be over. I told my wife I'd be on
How
it till
dare
we were
Once
done.
again, Brisc, thank you very much for coming on and everything.
You're welcome.
Guys,
Never a clip-on tie.
Oh man, next
No clip-on
week,
ties in this establishment.
guys. Next week, what we got coming up is actually
Matterall!
we got Matterall coming on next week.
Oh,
Wait,
okay,
Redline, you
station.
want a dance party? I thought we can't do dance party because like fucking DMCA or whatever. So like,
I
what?
don't have my cat here to dance with her.
Dance. Vogue. Vogue.
Girl, you've been playing music. Listen, it's copyright free music.
I could dance with the
So
stove.
Alright, okay,
You
fine.
can
Let
dance
me.
if you want to.
All right, let me
Leave
find
that
just a
world
minute.
behind.
I'm cutting my mic to.
Oh,
here.
I can't hear the music. I
I'm
can't hear
about
the
to
music.
fix it.
Pretend.
Hakuna Yurtadas.
I can...
Yeah, I got this stuff.
Alright,
grabbed
okay.
when I went to
All right,
Boston.
okay.
Oh
just
man.
wait.
This is for all you crabs. You
Don't do
crabby
that,
people.
Ivy. It's not
There
helping
you
you.
go.
Dude, I never said I was a good
Also-
singer. And I don't care if you don't like that I'm not a good singer, because I'm gonna do what I want to do anyways. Welcome to Lasers and Lace.
Where's the-
Come on, why is that not working?
I also have this crab hat.
Alright, here we go, Redline. Go ahead.
I got wardrobe moves,
So-
so I can't dance.
Because there was a store in Boston that had like everything was crab. So like
That makes sense. I
Oh,
mean, I would
dancing
bought
with
all
the
crab
hands?
stuff too.
Here.
I have no moves. I have
It's not
wardrobe
DTM's
moves.
crab suit, but it's pretty close.
Alright,
But yeah, I
wait,
don't
wait,
have- I just
wait,
have
wait. Let me
this
find
hat,
Crab Rave.
which I thought was
Here we
hilarious.
go.
I
Here we
can't
go.
And I got this
music.
little guy because he's so cute. No. Is there music? Because I'm making him dance
Turn
anyway.
Listen.
I got
Zoom,
wardrobe moves.
Why
Bob the neck.
why you gotta be like
I always
this?
like to make something else dance. Make the cat dance.
Come on, Brisc. Dance party.
Or in this case, the crab.
There we go. There we go.
Well, the moves I do have are inappropriate for the stream.
2 steps to being the manager of a burger joint. Yeah. Crab burgers.
Yeah.
Oh, crabs? What's that?
That's
Fucking
perfect.
love Crab Rave. Fucking love Crab Rave. Alright, okay. Yeah, we're gonna go rampaging. Once again, guys, thank you so much for popping in. My solo stream, by the way.
And party.
Yeah. Lena is 2 steps
is
away from
great.
being the manager of a burger joint. I fucking
No,
love it.
I like the crab thing.
Thank you
This
very
is
much,
the
guys.
Crab Rave song.
Thank you so much again. They can't hear me, but we love you guys so much for popping in. Stay tuned for next week for Matterall. It's gonna be fucking amazing. All right, so
Thanks,
here
guys.
we go.
Hi all. Thanks for
All right.
having me.
Peace. All right.